Hi, everyone. Welcome to Brother, Sister, Whatever, where real talk meets zero chill. I am Lisa.
And I'm Josh.
And today we're going to talk about self-help.
Self-help, oh boy.
Self-help.
How we fixed ourselves?
How we fixed ourselves. Or are still trying to. Okay. Why is everyone always trying to fix themselves?
I think because people are finally realizing that they're the problem.
Is that what that is?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we're so used to blaming everyone else, we're finally realizing that we might have to look at the common denominator.
Yes. Common denominator.
Right?
It's true. It's true. Do you think it's become like its own personality type?
Like in what way?
like
Well, I know that there's people
like
who are
self-helping.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, I'm walking. Oh, I'm reading a book. Oh, I'm self-helping.
Yeah, well, I know that there are addicts.
Self-help addicts?
Yeah. And it's like they're so self-helping that they're like selfish.
Okay.
Like, do you
Deep
know,
dive into that one. What do you
like,
mean?
for example, one person where it's like everything was always about like him getting better and this and that, but
Okay.
also like there was it was all for like a purpose of like what he could get versus like from you, so to speak. Like there was no giving in
Oh,
that kind of like like self-help is, yes, you're trying to understand yourself and this and that, but like his self-help was like understanding himself, but then like having to do this for himself, and he has to have this, and because this is his vibe now,
okay.
and like it was just
So you
very
you felt it was like it's more like selfish, like more of a taking,
more of a taking.
maybe using it
Yeah.
to your advantage.
Yeah,
Huh.
exactly. And so, I think there's such a thing as a little
A little too
overboard,
much.
a
Yeah.
little too much self-help,
Well,
right?
well, I've asked myself sometimes, like, am I just finding things to fix? Because one thing I've learned is that I'm a fixer.
Mhm.
Definitely know that about myself. So does that also like I've stopped and actually asked myself, am I being a fixer on myself now?
But that's normal.
Right?
Like that's what you do, right? Like you help yourself, you fix yourself,
Yeah,
and you're
but
always
when you're
looking
but
for.
that's
Yeah, but I think
that's the asterisk. You're always looking like what if you're making more out of something? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I
Like
get it. But that's up
what
to you.
requires help
Mhm.
and working on something versus this is simply a part of my personality.
Well, I think what it comes down to is how you feel about said situation. So if you're always feeling like shit, or other people around you are feeling like shit, it's about like, okay, is it them or me?
Mm-hmm.
And then trying to, figure that. So that's important, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've had a lot of those moments.
Where you ask yourself that?
Well, where I'm asking myself like, okay, this person is not feeling good, you know, and I'm not feeling good. Is it me, or is it us,
Mm-hmm.
or is it them? And trying to, figure that out and weed through it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that when you have those epiphanies, yeah, you have to. But I'm not going to be like, I can't, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, for example, I knew I had to work on myself when it came to my gaming. And it wasn't because I had people bitching at me.
Okay.
It was because I started feeling depressed. I started feeling, and don't get me wrong, there's maybe some other people out there where they feel the opposite, and that's okay, because I did feel the opposite, but it was more of filling a void than it was actually helping myself, So it's those kind of things where you have to decipher and figure out, are you just kind of filling the void,
Yeah.
or are you actually like self-helping? Right?
Yep.
Because gaming could be self-helping. I need a break. I need
Of
to,
course.
I need to let loose. I can't just always be on. I have to have my time. I have to do things for myself,
Like a
right?
hobby.
Like a hobby, right? But there's a difference from that and then it going to another place.
Well, absolutely.
So,
You
yeah.
could say that about pretty much everything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. You could say that about pretty much everything. Okay, let's pause here and let's do weekly what if.
Yeah,
Okay?
let's do it.
Okay.
What if you had to live one full week following the most extreme self-help advice out there? Wake up at 4:30 a.m., cold plunge, gratitude journal, no caffeine, no phone, eat raw kale, 10,000 steps before 9 a.m. How fast would you break? Would you be able to pull it off?
I don't think
One week.
I don't think I'd be able to pull it off for 1 week. I think I could pull it off for a week, but I'd be miserable doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the point of it,
No, it's not.
of any of that. Do you know? And so, like, when you're trying to be better person, eat better, whatever it is that you're trying to better, it has to come from a place of like actual want. Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing it for? You're just gonna make things worse, in my opinion. I'm no scientist, I'm no therapist, I'm no like none of that shit. But one thing I know is if I say to myself, oh, I need to eat healthier, which I know I do, and I cut out all the sugar and all of the bad drinks and no caffeine and all of this, I'm just like from like just like that, boom, I'm just making it more painful.
For sure.
Now, if you were to ease into it and maybe just do, like, that's a different story.
Yeah. I mean, everything should be in moderation anyways. I used to be that person where it's like you're having a donut.
Oh shit.
It's like what's in that. You know how bad it is for you. Like all that crap. Now it's like, I don't care if I have a donut.
You never answered.
Oh. Yeah, I would do that. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Of course.
Well, I mean, because I'm technically doing 3/4 of it. Okay, a quarter. I'm doing a quarter of it.
Do you see my face, people? Look at this.
I mean, I'm up at
Look at
4.
this.
Okay, the cold plunge. I mean, I do take cold showers once in a while. The gratitude journal, I do that almost every day.
Oh, fuck off.
No.
You're like the person on Instagram that I try to escape from. Okay.
Okay, I don't go around being like, I eat kale. Like, I'm just saying, like, these are some of the things I do. The ones I don't do, no caffeine. I pretty much have coffee every day, at least 1 cup. No phone. Yeah, that definitely impossible. Eat raw kale. I mean, I haven't done that. 10,000 steps, I do, but not before 9 a.m. So.
Okay. You're redeeming yourself a little.
Oh, God.
So, but you think you'd be okay? I actually, you know what? I could see you doing it. Like, I mean, like I've mentioned before, I think you have this thing. You have a vision. This is what you want.
Yeah.
You go for it. I admire that about you, but fucking pain in my ass sometimes, Anyway. Okay. Oh, if you could make a fake guru name for yourself, what would it be?
I don't know. I guess because I'm into Taoism now and everything, I'd like the warrior monk or something.
The warrior monk.
Josh the monk. No, you know what? Josh the Tao disciple.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah.
Look at you.
Josh, the Tao disciple. I'd have classes and people would come in. Yes, my child.
Yes, but oh shit. Oh man. Oh man.
Let the river flow.
I can't even compare. I can't even like compete with that. So I'm just not even gonna give myself a name.
What?
That
No,
shit.
you have
No.
to give a name.
No, I don't. I
Oh,
don't do nothing.
God.
Can't make me.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. So, self-help starter pack.
Oh, shit.
Oh man. Okay. The self-help starter pack. What most people try first. Books are obviously huge. Books, podcasts.
Yeah.
I've even done Pinterests, looking for quotes or
Yeah. I think
affirmations, stuff like that.
activity, physical activity.
Physical activity.
Like walking.
Yeah. Fresh air,
yeah.
listening to birds chirp.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of that fun stuff. Now, speaking of books, what are some of your... Actually, you know what? Let's name one book, self-help book, that you have truly enjoyed or that has made a difference. Not the only one, but at least one.
I'm so bad at names, but I have one.
Okay, go for it. While you're looking it up, I will actually say one of the ones that I truly enjoyed was Atomic Habits.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Just the ability to like look at how to form a habit differently.
Yeah.
Was really inspiring and kind of changed how I look at myself, because I was always like, why do I find it so hard to follow through with things?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one was a big one for me. One of the big ones. There's been tons of others, but that was a big one for me. Which
the one that changed everything for me?
Yeah.
And got me kind of into my groove.
Yeah.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. That one.
Mark Manson, your guy.
That one there. He's a true champ.
Have you read any self-help like parenting books?
I started one. I think the one that you recommended to me.
Oh shit! Really?
Wasn't
Which
it
one
you?
was that?
I think it was you that recommended it to me. It's been good.
Oh,
it was good.
Oh, the Parenting Map by Dr. Shefali.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was eye-opening.
Oh, and I have Atomic Habits.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
You should read it.
Or
listen to it.
For some reason, I didn't go through that one.
Yeah, definitely. Like self-help books are like the number one way.
For sure.
I would think to like
change your life.
And now podcasts are just becoming more and more big. All of these, you have so many, like the Brene Browns. I think even Mark Manson has his own podcast. Does he not?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, so they're all over. Yeah. You can't escape it.
No.
You can't say, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to."
Yeah, there's so much help out there.
Yeah.
And if you're listening, and like we said about the fan mail, you can send us something, and we'll send you some of our top books.
Yeah, for sure. We'd love to hear what you guys have read, what's inspired you. When does the advice go from being helpful to being like harmful in a way? Like, have you ever seen messaging that was more harmful than helpful? And I'll give you an example, right? Like, if you want it badly enough, the universe will give it to you. Right? So one of the things that I was told, similar to that actually, is if you're not doing it or you don't have it, it must mean that you didn't want it badly enough. Okay? And I used to wear it. I almost used to wear that or use it as like a
crutch?
Yeah. Oh, I guess I didn't want it badly enough. Right? After I did nothing to get it. Or to even try to change or to whatever the case it was, right? And like, let's take eating healthier as an example. Oh, I guess I didn't want it badly enough. Didn't make any changes. Didn't give up that snack. Didn't give, didn't eat more kale, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So I feel like that harmed me more than it helped me. Because it wasn't until afterwards when I was reading about how the brain works, right? It's almost like that that thinking, that way of thinking, that sentence, I made myself believe that, and so therefore my actions followed it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it did like the complete opposite of
Yeah.
what I had wanted, just by hearing those words. I don't know.
Your luck is based off of how much you sweat. So it's like basically there is.
Metaphorically?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically there is no luck, right? It's how hard you work, and that luck comes from the work you do, kind of thing. So that could be perceived also as negative in a way.
Yeah. Well, what about those people that are working really fucking hard? Like there's more to it than just work.
Exactly.
Working hard at something.
So I think you when you hear these kinds of lines,
That's what I'm saying.
I think you have to really kind of take it with a grain of salt, because
But put it into context.
but that's it. That's it, because you'll hear those, especially those kind of things. I hear them all the time.
So, what are your thoughts on like journaling?
I'm getting into it,
Okay.
but I journal a little differently.
Okay.
So I don't journal like my day or like my stuff or like what I'm thinking or reflection. I reflect in a different way. I read a quote and I do it once a week. And then I take the quote and then I journal about what I think the quote means to me in my life.
Okay.
So that's kind of like what I do as like my little journal / reflection. Yeah.
That's nice. That sounds very nice, actually.
Yeah, and every week I have a new anchor for the whole week.
Okay.
And so I try to repeat it every once in a while when I'm fucking pissed. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but
Yeah.
you?
I find it hard to journal in the old school way of like actually writing. I'm more of a audio journal.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like audio to notes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it works best for me. What about therapy?
Yeah.
I personally think, and I know some people will very much disagree with me on this, but I actually think everybody should be in therapy. And not because we're all fucked up. That's absolutely not what I mean. I just mean there is value to therapy in all people to all degrees.
Mm-hmm.
You can get something out of it no matter how little or how much you want it.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, I think therapy is very important. I think like AI therapy is going to become a lot more big. I mean, it already is.
Yeah.
But
certainly cheaper.
Certainly cheaper, and it's becoming more and more fascinating and real, and so But yes, therapy I think is very important. Healthy, mediocre, not healthy, like whatever the point is, it should be happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just I think everybody should have some sort of motivator in their life to hype them up when they're feeling down, to push them when they need that push. In any form, whatever form that is, that looks like to you.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
For sure.
I'm realizing more and more now at this age in my 40s how valuable those things are, those tools. and I'm trying to not all tools, but there are a few tools that I try to encourage the kids to do too, like journaling. I think writing down or video vlogging, journal, whatever, right? Whatever form that journal comes in. I'm trying to encourage the boys to do that. I think it helps to like when you internalize everything all the time, and I've done that for a very long time. It does something to you, you know. You feel alone a lot of times, and you're not alone. So sometimes even just saying how you feel out loud, even if it's not to a person, but like putting those words out in the air, I think
Yeah.
it can help. I
Yeah.
don't know. That's just my
No, I think so too.
thought process on it. You know?
I think so too. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I think more and more that kids these days need to be shown some form of tool that they can use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Think about when we were kids, right? Like we didn't like that kind of stuff wasn't anything we knew about. We very much internalized things. And we thought we were the only ones that ever felt it.
I mean, in some ways, you know, even though, you know, parents in general, including each other, we're not, you know, gurus in these type of things, but I think it starts with the kid feeling safe, you know, to be able to speak at home.
Yeah.
And then from there, it makes it easier to move around. But, you know, there's always disagreement when there's change, when things change, when things are different. You know, everyone always wants everything to stay exactly the same.
There's a lot to unpack on this one, actually.
Yeah. Like, you know, change is
hard for some people.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything is hard,
Yeah.
you know, in that regard. So,
Yeah. Last question before we move on to like this or that segment. Do you think that self-help is empowering or exhausting?
no, I think it's empowering.
Yeah.
You?
Do you think there's a line?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a line, but I
Yeah.
think for the most part, and like for me personally, I think it's been very empowering.
I think it's been empowering for myself, but I've also been at a point where I found it exhausting. But I'll tell you why. It's usually because I'm not ready.
Okay, fair.
So whatever it is that I was searching for, I may have found it, but then going through or let's say starting to read the book, because that's usually how it gets started for me, I found it exhausting. It's great and it's empowering if the timing is right and if you're ready for it.
Yeah, I think that's very important, you know, when you're looking at the self-help in general.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because there's a lot of times where you might have actually seen something and just kind of moved on, and then now you look at that same thing and like it speaks to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
This or that, Josh.
All right, so self-help edition. So which one would you try? Daily cold plunge or 100 daily affirmations?
100 daily affirmations. Not taking any cold plunges. Would you quit social media forever or quit caffeine forever? I know. That's
Does this include business?
no.
If it doesn't include business, social media I would get rid of.
Okay.
So yeah, so I guess I would go for the coffee.
No, you would.
I mean,
you would
yeah.
quit social media.
Yeah, I would quit
Okay.
social media. My bad.
Yeah, caffeine's hard to give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wake up at 4 a.m. daily or drink celery juice for every meal? For every meal.
I will wake up at 4. I'll just go to bed earlier. It's all
Yeah,
good.
I'm in bed at 8.
It's all good. Meditate 3 hours a day or walk barefoot everywhere for grounding.
I would meditate for 3 hours.
Who walks barefoot everywhere for alone?
Give up sarcasm for a month or give up multitasking for a month.
I guess sarcasm? I
Okay.
don't know if I would even know how to give up multitasking. Okay. Would you attend a 10-day no speaking retreat? Oh my God, that's my dream. Or go on a 30-day dopamine detox?
What's that?
I don't know.
Dopamine detox.
Dopamine.
Dopamine, we need dopamine, don't we? We get like, isn't
Like
that,
dopamine,
it's like
so
the
like if
feel
you're,
good drug.
it's the feel good drug, but
It's a
what if you're,
detox.
what if you're, so it would be a detox of the bad things that give you dopamine. Like doom scrolling,
Oh,
for example, or whatever,
shit, I would
right?
maybe do the detox. I think that would be
That
fun.
sounds interesting.
Yeah, I think I would do the detox. Go on a find yourself solo trip or hire a life coach you can't afford.
No, I would go on a solo trip. I think
Okay.
that would hit all the buttons for me. Would you carry a crystal in your pocket or tape affirmations to your mirror?
Um, Crystal in my pocket.
Oh my God. No.
Yeah.
Do you know I have been really interested in chakras lately?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
The chakras and what they do and like
yeah.
yeah. I
That's
even got a
cool.
book.
No
I
way.
even got a book about it, and I ordered a little chakra bracelet. Didn't get it yet.
Look at you.
I don't know. I'm like, listen, I'll take anything at this point. Whatever tools I can get.
Only speak in mantras or only eat food that raises your vibration.
Since we all know now at this point that I cannot do food things, I'm gonna say I will speak in mantras.
Okay, fair.
Okay, Josh, join a wellness cult or start your own.
Start my own.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
Manifest love with moon water or visualize your future self every morning at sunrise.
Matt, like the visualize myself at
Every morning.
sunrise. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. I don't even know what the fuck moon water is. So I'm going to say, forget that. Okay, Josh, last one each, okay?
Yeah.
Do shadow work every night. Do you know what shadow work is?
Hmm.
Okay. Or have weekly ego death therapy.
Shadow work.
Really? Would you shadow work?
Yeah, I think I would do shadow work. All right, last one.
Okay.
Start a self-help YouTube channel or delete your phone forever.
A YouTube channel.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man, that was good.
That was good.
Okay. So, one last question to tie this up. What if your self help journey does not tie in with that of your partner's? Do you think it matters?
I think it matters to a degree, yes.
Okay. In what way do you think it matters?
Well, if you're going through this self-help, you're probably figuring out things about yourself, things that you didn't like before, which might be connected to who you're with or whatever. And a partner who cares and believes in you and so on and so on and so on will most likely support you. And, I think they need to at least meet you somewhere. It doesn't mean that they have to be like, oh, you're doing this? Okay, I'm going to do it too. But it should be something like along the lines of like, oh, you're doing this now? Like, okay, you know what? I'm very interested in this. Like this is going to make you more relaxed or whatever. Like, I'm going to, go with that as opposed to being like, why are you doing this? Brr, or whatever. Who knows? So yeah, I think so. And also I feel like self-help could fit into like morals and stuff like that. And so, I don't think it would be absurd to think that like morals can change and thoughts like that can change. So yeah, I think people outgrow people all the time, and it's either like I don't know. I think that there's always maybe you're never going to be right there with someone. I think sometimes people are going to be behind you, and you might have to slow down and wait for them. And then other times it might be you and they're slowing down and waiting for you. But I don't think you can get too far ahead.
Mm.
I think if you get too far ahead and you end up leaving them in the dust, then at some point there's just going to be nothing there. I don't know.
I actually really agree with that.
Mm.
I agree. I like how you said what you said though, like that you like there are times where you are maybe side by side, but most of the time
Mm.
somebody's catching up somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
for
there's
sure.
kind of like a wave.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's very insightful, Josh.
Well, just remember, was it the last episode or this episode? I'm known as Josh, the
The Tao disciple?
yeah, the
The
Tao
dis-
disciple.
the Tao disciple. Josh, the Tao disciple. Oh fuck. I swear to God. All right. Well, that was a great episode.
That was a very good episode.
I think you got to learn a little bit more about us and what makes us tick.
As always.
As always, exactly. So thanks for tuning in to Brother, Sister, Whatever, where real talk meets zero chill. And please like, subscribe, follow all channels, all podcasts, everywhere.
And remember, we want to see that fan mail.
Yes.
So let's see it. Come on, talk to us. Bye.
Bye.